guys, it's Naseem here. Now, after using the Galaxy Z Flip 3 for about 11 months now, the one thing that kept coming to my mind after using it on a day-to-day basis was this one simple statement that I think explains the Z Flip 3 pretty perfectly. And that statement is, I think that the Galaxy Z Flip 3 has the most potential out of any Samsung phone in the market. And I say this because when you think about it, the Z Flip series has progressed so much over the past few years that it's the only foldable that's undeniably the best in this category. Because when we look at phones like the Motorola Flip, it was so underwhelming that Samsung saw the opportunity to capitalize on it, and that's exactly what they did. And soon after, they made the Galaxy Z Flip along with the Z Fold, and while the first Z Flip wasn't anywhere near the best phone in the market, it still had a lot of potential and was the beginning of what we have today, the Galaxy Z Flip 3. And now the Z Flip 3 has the most potential to me because not only is it a great foldable phone, but it also can perform just as well as any other flagship in the market, which is a really great sign for the Z Flip series as a whole. And besides all of my thoughts as to why the Z Flip 3 has extraordinary potential, I still wanted to let you guys in on my experience to help you decide whether or not it's worth buying this late in the year. And now the first thing that I wanted to look at when it comes to the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is the battery life. Now the Galaxy Z Flip 3 has a 3000 mAh battery that really started getting worse after my extended time of using it. I will usually get around 4 to 5 hours of on-screen time, and it couldn't even last me half the day, which was really annoying. And I would get annoying battery heating issues like whenever I play power heavy apps and whenever I would charge my phone up. Again, this was a problem that resulted in the phone lagging and dying even faster. Now the charging was also a problem for me because it only supported 15 watts, so whenever my phone would be at 5%, I will put it on a charger and it would significantly take longer than any of my other phones, and that plus the bad battery made this phone very annoying. So overall, I would say that the battery on the Z Flip 3 was really bad, and if you are thinking about getting this phone, a portable charger is a must. Now the next thing that I wanted to look at when it comes to the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is the display. Now the Galaxy Z Flip 3 has a 6.7 inch screen that overall felt really smooth. I didn't get many lags with it when it was cool, but whenever my device got hot, it would slow down, and that was one of the most annoying things about it. The size was okay, the width was great, but I didn't really like that it was a much longer display since it has to fold. I got used to it a little, but the main problem for me was that it didn't look as good as when I was watching videos. And one thing that I did like about the display was the brightness. Like whenever I was outside and the sun was shining, I would turn my brightness up, and it was definitely one of the brightest screens in this price range. Another thing that held up really well was the outer display. Like right here, you can see that it still looks as fresh as ever. The resolution on it was nice, and I would still mostly use it for notifications and to change music. And something that I did like on the Z Flip 3 was the screen resolution. Whenever I was watching videos or playing a game, everything was really sharp, but something that I didn't like as much was the color. Like whenever I was on my other phones, I noticed that this one felt more grayish. Now the next thing that I wanted to look at when it comes to the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is the software experience. Now the Z Flip 3 was very smooth when it came to how it handled Android 12. The animations were top notch, the customization was really good, and it overall looked really good despite it having a longer screen. And something that I didn't like was how the Z Flip 3 wasn't able to handle power heavy apps. Like whenever I would play, the device would get really hot, then the battery would drain really fast, and the whole game would become very buggy. But besides that, I liked how Samsung was able to make the outer screen a more immersive experience. Like whenever I would use it, I really liked how I could use it to make phone calls, so it wasn't useless. But the last thing that I liked about the One UI was how smooth it was able to work when it came to multitasking, sharing media, and even how I was able to save all my passwords using my Samsung devices. And now the next thing that I wanted to look at when it comes to the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is the speakers. Now the bass on the Z Flip 3 was the only part of the speakers that I would say was lacking. It didn't really hit hard at all, and whenever I would play music out loud on my phone, the bass was so low that I ultimately put headphones on when it came to certain songs. And the only reason why I would watch videos out loud was because of how loud and clear the vocals were. Watching YouTube videos enhanced my visual experience and was the only reason the speakers were enjoyable. And now the final thing that I wanted to look at when it comes to the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is the cameras. Now the Z Flip 3 has a dual 12 megapixel camera that I would say was the second most disappointing thing about this phone. There were some areas where it shined, but overall the quality just couldn't keep up. Like right here, when we look at the daytime outside photos, these were the best that the camera could do, but it was still pretty underwhelming. Like right here, you can see that there is a lack of color no matter what I took a picture of. It couldn't replicate real life, and that was a problem for me. The selfie camera was even more underwhelming. Like whenever I took a pic, my face either lacked sharpness, had too much sharpness, or was lacking in color, and it overall reminded me of older Galaxies. And now when we look at the daytime inside photos, we can see that these weren't able to look any better. Even when I got good lighting, there was still some graininess that ruined the quality of the picture. Even looking at objects, the graininess was at an all-time high. And again, it really gave me an outdated feel that reminds me of older Androids, which was a bummer because this phone is well over $1,000 bucks. And when it came to video quality, the Z Flip 3 was a little better, but that lack of color really took the quality from the video. Also, there were times where the sharpness was too much to the point where it looked kind of fake. And to show you guys what I mean, here's an example of me using a video camera on the Z Flip 3. And there it is, my review on the Galaxy Z Flip 3 after 11 months of use. Now let me know down in the comments, would you still get the Galaxy Z Flip 3 this late in 2022? Let me know. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I would like to say thank you for sticking around. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe, it will be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.